I woke up to the sound of laughter downstairs. For a moment, half asleep, I thought it was Mom. Then reality crashed back. She was gone, and the voice belonged to my stepmother. I pulled on a shirt and went down. Dad sat at the table, his arm around her. A bouquet of roses lay in front of her, bright red, like blood against the white tablecloth. "Morning," I muttered. Dad glanced at me, then turned back to her. "Happy Mother's Day, Claire," he said, smiling as if the world was perfect. I froze. "You're celebrating?" Claire tilted her head, her painted lips curving into a satisfied smirk. "Of course. Your father wanted to make this day special." "This day?" My voice cracked. "Do you even remember what today is for me?" Dad sighed. "Not this again. It's been years. You need to move forward. Move forward." I stared at him. "It's Mother's Day, my mom's day. She gave me life, and you're pretending she never existed." Claire's voice dripped with sugar. "Your father isn't pretending. He's honoring the present instead of clinging to the past." I clenched my fists. "She's not the past to me. She's my mother. Does she mean nothing now?" Dad put down his coffee. "Enough. I won't let you ruin this morning. Claire is my wife, and she deserves recognition." "Recognition?" My chest tightened. "What about Mom? What about the woman who raised me, who died still loving you? Do you even care?" His eyes went cold. "Don't you dare question my feelings." I cared, I grieved, but I refused to drown in it forever. I felt heat rise in my throat. "So instead you erase her. Replace her. Celebrate a stranger while ignoring your own son's pain." Claire leaned forward, her perfume sharp. "I am not a stranger. I'm part of this family now. You should learn respect." "Respect?" I snapped. "Respect is earned. You've been here, what, 2 years? You'll never replace her." Dad's hand slammed on the table. "Stop it, Daniel. You're 19, not a child. Your mother's gone. Accept it." My name on his tongue felt like an insult. "You think I haven't accepted it? I live with it every day. I dream about her. I wake up reaching for her voice, and then I hear yours. And it kills me." The room went silent, except for my breathing. Claire broke it with a soft laugh. "He's dramatic. He'll outgrow it." I turned on her. "Don't talk about me like I'm some burden. You don't know me." "You don't know her." Dad stood towering over me. "That's enough. Go to your room before you say something you regret." I shook my head. "No, you regret it. You regret forgetting her. You regret choosing convenience over memory." His jaw tightened, but his eyes wavered for just a second. Then he looked away. "I won't argue with you. That's all you ever do. Avoid, dismiss, move on." My voice cracked into a whisper. "You didn't just bury her. You buried me too." For a moment I thought he might soften, might finally see me, but Claire touched his arm and the moment vanished. "Let him sulk," she said. "He'll learn in time." I wanted to scream. Instead, I stepped back, my body shaking. "You'll never erase her from me. Never." Dad's eyes hardened again. "Go upstairs." I turned and walked away, each step heavier than the last. My room felt like a cage. I closed the door and leaned against it, the laughter downstairs echoing through the walls. I pressed my hands to my face. My chest burned with rage and grief tangled together. He had chosen her over Mom, chosen her over me. Whispers of my mother's voice filled my head, her soft laugh, the way she'd say my name when I felt lost. I clung to those echoes like they were the only thing left of me. I whispered into the silence. "I won't let him forget you, Mom, even if it destroys me. I'll make sure he remembers." Downstairs, Claire's laughter rang again, sharp and cruel. Dad's voice followed, warm, devoted, as if the woman who once held his heart had never lived. That was the moment I knew. He had erased her, and in doing so, he had erased me. But I wasn't gone. Not yet, and I swore to myself in that dark room that I would make him regret ever ignoring me on Mother's Day. I scrolled through my phone that morning, still raw from the fight with Dad. A photo lit up my screen, my father smiling, his arm around Claire, the table decorated with flowers and champagne. The caption from my stepsister stung worse than the image itself. "Best Mother's Day brunch ever. Cheers to the real woman of the house." I clenched the phone. She knew I would see it. A message popped up from her. "You didn't get an invite?" "Awkward," I typed fast. "He didn't even tell me." Her reply was instant. "Why would he?" You'd ruin it with your sad act. Nobody needs that, my chest tightened. She's not my mom. This day doesn't belong to her, another ding. Too bad Dad thinks otherwise. Maybe if you weren't stuck in the past, you'd actually matter. I gritted my teeth. Don't talk about Mom. She sent back a photo of Claire raising a glass. Face it, she's the one here now. Your mom's just gone. The words cut like knives. I stared at the screen until my vision blurred. I called Dad. My hands shook as the dial tone rang. He answered, voice calm, cheerful. Daniel, what's up? I saw the pictures. My voice cracked. You had a brunch. You didn't even invite me. A pause. Then he sighed. I didn't think you'd want to come. It was for Claire. She deserves it. She deserves it, and Mom? She doesn't deserve even a flower on her grave? His tone hardened. Don't start this again. I'm building a life with Claire. Respect that. Respect? My throat burned. You erased her. You erased me. Do you even realize how humiliating this is? Daniel, lower your voice, he snapped. This is not about you. It's about honoring Claire. No, I whispered, rage spilling into every word. It's about forgetting Mom, about pretending she never existed. And you're proud of it. The line went silent. Then he muttered, grow up. And he hung up. I stared at the phone, my reflection warped in the black screen. My stepsister's messages buzzed again. Guess you got your answer. Better luck next year, I typed back furiously. One day you'll choke on your smug little words. She sent a laughing emoji. Scary. What are you gonna do? Cry at her grave again? I wanted to smash the phone. Instead, I dropped it on my bed and pressed my fists into my temples. Her laughter echoed in my mind. Dad's dismissal replayed over and over. The images of roses, champagne, and fake smiles blurred together with memories of Mom's gentle hands, her soft laugh, the way she always made pancakes for me on Mother's Day morning. I whispered to the empty room. He forgot you, Mom. He forgot everything. But I won't. The anger rose hotter, sharper, like steel forming in fire. I wasn't just hurt anymore. I was humiliated, mocked, erased. I picked the phone back up, stared at the photo again. Dad's smile looked perfect, but I knew it was hollow. I knew the cracks beneath it. I'll make him remember, I said aloud. My voice sounded foreign, steady, certain. If he won't honor you, then I'll carve your name into every corner of his life until he can't escape it. The vow settled into me like iron. My hands stopped shaking. My chest still ached, but beneath the grief, there was something new. Purpose. The phone buzzed again. My stepsister had sent another photo, this time of Claire unwrapping a gold bracelet. The caption read, well deserved. I laughed bitterly. Enjoy it while it lasts, because I knew then. This wasn't just about Mom anymore. This was about me. About the son he cast aside, the memory he buried, the truth he thought he could erase. And I swore in that moment, as sure as I breathed, that I would make sure my father never forgot me again. Dad's office smelled like leather and old books. I stood in the doorway, fists clenched, heart pounding so loud I thought he'd hear it. Dad, I said, my voice sharper than I meant. We need to talk. He didn't look up from the papers on his desk. I'm busy. No, I stepped inside, shutting the door behind me. You're going to listen. His eyes lifted, cold and impatient. Make it quick, I swallowed hard. Why do you pretend Mom never existed? Why can't you honor her even once? A flower, a word, anything? His jaw tightened. Because living in the past is pointless. She's gone. She's not gone from me. My voice cracked. She's in everything I do, every thought I have. And you... I slammed my hand on his desk. You act like she never mattered. He leaned back, folding his arms. You're 19. Old enough to stop acting like a child. Grow up. The words hit like stones. Grow up? My chest heaved. That's all you ever say. You want me to erase her so you don't feel guilty. I don't feel guilty, he snapped. I built a new life. Claire is my wife. She is my family now. That's reality. Accept it. I stared at him, stunned. Your future? What about me?
What about the son you already had?
You'll understand when you're older, he muttered, picking up a file. No. I slammed the file shut. Stop brushing me off. Stop pretending this doesn't matter. I'm standing right here, Dad, begging you not to erase her. His eyes hardened. Enough. I won't discuss this further. Tears blurred my vision. You won't discuss it because you know I'm right. You're a coward. He shot to his feet, towering over me. Watch your mouth. I didn't flinch. What are you going to do, hit me? Prove I was never worth your time? His face reddened. For a moment, silence. Then he said, low and final, "Get out." I stared at him, waiting for something. Anything. A crack, a sign of remorse. Nothing came. Just his cold eyes, my throat closed. "You're not just forgetting her, you're forgetting me too." I turned and stormed out before he could answer. Later, I sat on the bleachers at the empty basketball court, phone pressed to my ear. "Man, you sound wrecked," my best friend Aaron said. "What happened this time?" I wiped at my eyes. "He told me to grow up. Said his new family is his future," Aaron cursed under his breath. "He actually said that?" "Yeah," I whispered. "Like I'm disposable. Like mom never mattered. Like I don't matter." "Listen to me," Aaron said firmly. "You matter." "Don't let his words bury you." I laughed bitterly. "Easy for you to say. You still have both your parents." There was silence on the line, then his voice softened. "You're right. I don't know that pain. But I know you. You're stronger than him." "Strong?" I shook my head. "I feel like I'm cracking apart." "He erased her." "He erased me," Aaron sighed. "So what are you going to do? Keep begging him to care? Or something else?" The question hung heavy. "I don't know," I said, though part of me already did. "You do," Aaron said quietly. "I can hear it in your voice." I clenched the phone tighter. "I can't forgive him. Not after this. Not when he's proud of erasing her. Proud of erasing me. Daniel, no!" I cut in. "I won't let him get away with it. I'll make him remember. I'll make him regret every word he said." Aaron's tone sharpened. "Revenge won't bring peace. Peace?" I laughed bitterly. "Peace died with her. All I have left is this anger. If I don't use it, it'll eat me alive." He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "If you go down that road, there's no turning back." "I don't want to turn back," I whispered. "I want him to feel what I feel. Empty, forgotten, broken." Aaron exhaled hard. "Then promise me something." "What?" "Promise me you won't destroy yourself in the process." I didn't answer right away. The night air bit at my skin, the silence pressing in. Finally, I said, "I can't promise that." He groaned. "Damn it, Daniel, I mean it," I said firmly. "This is bigger than me now. It's about Mom, about the truth. If he won't honor her, I will force him to, even if it costs me everything." Aaron muttered. "You sound dangerous." "Maybe I am," I admitted, "but I'm done being ignored. Done being erased." He told me to grow up. Fine. I'll grow up into the nightmare he created. "Daniel, I swear," I said, my voice trembling but steady. "I'll never let his betrayal go unanswered. Never." The line went quiet. For the first time in years, I felt something sharper than grief. I felt resolve, and I knew then the boy who begged for love was gone. The son he erased was gone. All that remained was someone who would make him remember, no matter the cost. It started small, whispers, shadows, cracks I couldn't ignore. I overheard Claire late at night, her voice soft but sharp through the wall. "Yes, baby, I'll see you tomorrow." "No, he won't suspect anything." A pause, then laughter. Not the kind she gave Dad, but something hungrier. The next day, my stepsister bragged on a call in the kitchen. "Just put it on Dad's card." "He never checks. He's too busy pretending to be perfect." She giggled. "If he finds out, I'll just blame Daniel." I bit my tongue, rage boiling. Their whole world looked polished, but it was rotten inside. That weekend, I found myself sitting across from my uncle, Mom's brother, at a quiet cafe. He looked older than I remembered, lines carved deep into his face. "You asked to meet," he said. "What's going on?" I leaned forward. "Tell me the truth about Dad, about his business." "About everything," he hesitated, stirring his coffee. "Why now?" "Because I can't let him bury her memory anymore," I said, voice trembling. "If I don't know the truth, I'll never stop burning." Uncle's eyes softened. "Your father wasn't always like this. But money changes people. He built his company on risky loans, shady deals. He looked successful, but he owes half the city. If it collapses, he'll drag everyone down with him." I stared, stunned. "And Mom? Did she know?" His voice dropped. "She knew. She begged him to stop. But he cared more about his image than her peace." My chest tightened. "So he chose greed over her." Uncle nodded slowly. "And when she got sick, he barely paid for treatment. Said it was too expensive. Your mother used her savings. She never told you because she didn't want you to hate him. My throat closed. She protected him even when he didn't deserve it. He reached across the table, gripping my hand. She loved you more than life. Don't let his lies poison you. I pulled my hand back, shaking. It's too late. They already poisoned everything. Claire's cheating. My stepsister is draining him. And he still pretends he's untouchable, Uncle sighed. What do you plan to do? I looked him dead in the eye. Not with fists. Not with violence. With truth. If his life is built on lies, then I'll strip them away until he's left with nothing. Daniel, he said carefully, the truth can burn both ways. Are you ready for that? I don't care if it burns me, I whispered. I care that he finally feels what I feel, loss. Uncle studied me, then leaned back. Your father once said I was weak because I valued honesty over profit. Maybe you'll prove him wrong. Just don't lose yourself, I didn't answer. My mind was already racing. Claire's phone calls, my stepsister's arrogance, the debts buried under polished floors. Every lie stacked like dry wood, waiting for a match. When I got home that night, Dad was on the phone in his office, voice tight. I said I'll handle it. No one needs to know about the loan. I leaned against the wall, silent, memorizing every word. Later, I caught Claire in the hallway. She smiled sweetly. Out late, Daniel? I forced a smile back. Just with a friend. Her phone buzzed in her hand. She turned it over quickly, but not before I saw the name. Mark. I raised an eyebrow. Busy night? Her eyes narrowed. Mind your business. Oh, don't worry, I said softly. I always do. As I walked to my room, my steps felt lighter, not because I was free, but because I finally saw the chains clearly. Dad thought his house was built on strength, but I saw the termites eating away inside. I sat on my bed and whispered to the empty air. This isn't about revenge with blood. It's about truth, and truth cuts deeper than any knife. Mom's face flashed in my memory, her smile soft, her hands warm. She had lived in truth even when it hurt. Maybe this was how I honored her, not by forgiving, but by making sure lies couldn't stand where she once had. The shadows in our house were growing darker. I wasn't afraid anymore. I was ready to drag them into the light. My laptop screen glowed in the dark, folders full of screenshots, recordings, and bank statements. Claire's late-night calls, my stepsister's shopping sprees, Dad's hidden debts. I had it all. I whispered, not violence. Just truth. A knock at my door startled me. Daniel? A familiar voice. I opened the door. Sarah, my childhood friend, stood there, arms crossed, eyes sharp. What are you doing? She asked. I stepped aside. Come in. She walked over to my desk, glancing at the files. Wow, this looks intense. What is all this? Evidence, I said flatly. Proof that Dad's perfect life is a lie. She frowned. Why? Because he erased Mom. Because he erased me. He needs to know what that feels like. Her voice softened. Daniel, I get you're angry, but this looks like obsession. I shook my head. It's justice. I'm not hurting him with fists. I'm hurting him with his own truth. Truth can still destroy you, she warned. I clicked through a folder. Claire's cheating. Stepsister's draining him. His company's built on debt. One push and it all falls apart. She leaned closer. And then what? He suffers and you're free? Yes, my jaw tightened. He'll finally feel what I feel. Loss, humiliation. Sarah sighed. Or maybe you'll feel emptier than ever. I turned to her, eyes burning. Don't you get it? He laughed on Mother's Day. He celebrated her like Mom never existed. If I let that stand, then I'm nothing. Her voice cracked. You're not nothing, Daniel. You don't need revenge to prove that. I looked away. I need him to remember her. And if he won't, then I'll carve her memory into his downfall. She touched my arm gently. And if you destroy yourself in the process? I hesitated. The room felt smaller, her words pressing against my chest. Finally, I whispered, then at least it means I didn't stay silent. Sarah closed her eyes. You sound like you're preparing for war. Maybe I am. She dropped her hand, stepping back. I don't want to watch you turn into him. I'm nothing like him. Her voice sharpened. You're using people's pain as a weapon. That's exactly what he did. The words stung. The difference is I'm doing it for Mom. He did it for himself. She shook her head. Pain doesn't care about motives. It still spreads. I swallowed hard. So you're telling me to stop? I'm telling you to think, she said firmly. Think about what it costs you. Think about who you'll be when it's over. I stared at the files again. Maybe I won't be anything. Maybe that's the point, her voice softened. Don't say that. Sarah, I said, finally meeting her eyes, I can't back down now. I've already started. If I stop, he wins, and she disappears forever. Silence hung heavy between us. She whispered, Then promise me you'll survive it. Promise me you won't lose yourself. I forced a small smile. I'll try, but I can't promise. Her eyes glistened and she shook her head. That's what scares me. She left without another word. The door clicked shut, leaving me alone with the glow of the screen. I stared at the files, my chest heavy. Her warning echoed in my head. Think about the cost. But I already knew the cost. And I was willing to pay it, I whispered into the silence. He told me to grow up. Fine. I'll grow up into the one thing he can't ignore, the truth. The dining room glowed with warm light. The table set with polished silver and expensive wine. I sat at the far end silent, my phone heavy in my pocket. Claire raised her glass. To family, she said, smiling as if she owned the word. My stepsister laughed. And to the best dad in the world. Dad chuckled, proud. Thank you, sweetheart. I stared at them, my jaw tight. My chest pounded with every fake laugh. Dad looked at me. You've been quiet all night, Daniel. Something wrong? I met his gaze. Plenty, Claire tilted her head. Here we go again. I pulled out my phone, scrolling quickly. Actually, I have something to share, Dad frowned. Now? Yes, I said, my voice steady. Now! I set the phone on the table, screen lit. A message thread appeared, Claire's words glowing like fire. I miss you, baby. Last night was perfect. Photos followed. Intimate, indisputable. The room froze. Dad's glass slipped, wine spilling across the tablecloth. His face drained of color. My stepsister shot up. What the hell is this? Claire's eyes widened before she masked it with a laugh. This is ridiculous, fake. Daniel must have made it up. I leaned forward.
Do you think he's that blind?
Do you think I'm that stupid? These are from your phone, Claire. Your password isn't as clever as you thought. Dad's voice shook. Claire, tell me this isn't real. She reached for his hand. Of course it isn't. He's lying, trying to turn you against me. I snapped. Check the timestamps. Last week, while you were on a business trip. Dad's hand trembled as he scrolled through the messages. His breathing grew shallow. Claire tried again. They're fake, I swear. Stop lying, I cut in. You've been laughing at him behind his back, whispering to another man while he praised you as if you were pure. My stepsister screamed at me. You're just jealous. You want to ruin everything because you can't stand Dad being happy. I turned to her. Happy? He's a fool. You knew, didn't you? You let it happen while you bled his wallet dry. Her face twisted. Shut up! Dad slammed his fist on the table. Enough! His voice cracked with rage and pain. The room fell silent except for his heavy breathing. His eyes darted between Claire and me, searching for a lie, for something solid to hold on to. Daniel, he whispered, why would you do this? Because someone had to, I said coldly. You ignored me. You ignored Mom's memory. You built a house of lies and expected me to smile at the table. Not anymore. Claire's mask finally broke. You little bastard, she spat. You've ruined everything! I stared back, unflinching. No, you ruined it yourself. I just showed him the truth. Dad's chair scraped as he stood. He staggered back, hand pressed to his forehead. God, I can't, my stepsister yelled at me again. You don't belong here. You never did. I stood too, my voice steady, sharp. Maybe not, but at least I can look in the mirror without choking on lies. Claire's face twisted with venom. You think you've won? You've only made things worse. Good, I said. Worse is exactly what you all deserve. The silence that followed was deafening. Dad's shoulders sagged. Claire's eyes blazed. My stepsister glared like she'd kill me if she could. And me? I felt it, a rush, hot and dangerous. Satisfaction coursed through me as their perfect dinner crumbled into chaos. But underneath it, guilt pricked at me, sharp and cold. Dad's broken expression seared itself into my mind. For the first time, I saw him not as a giant, but as a man, weak, betrayed, humiliated. A part of me whispered, this is what you wanted. Another part whispered, you've become something darker. I walked out before anyone could speak again. My legs shook, but my head was high. Outside, the night air hit me hard, cool against the heat in my chest. I breathed deep, almost laughing, almost crying. For the first time, I wasn't invisible. I wasn't the quiet sun shoved into the corner. I was the storm that ripped through their lies, and it tasted sweet, sweet, and poisonous. The headline glared from my phone screen. Local tycoon faces financial scandal. Hidden debts, shady deals, collapse imminent. My chest tightened. I had given the files, the evidence, the cracks, and the journalist had lit the fire. The phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered. Daniel? A man's voice said. Yes. This is Mark Reynolds, the Herald. You're the one who sent the documents? My throat went dry. Yes. You were right. The story's real. Investors are panicking. Your father's empire, he chuckled darkly. Let's just say people love watching the mighty fall. Anything else you want to share? I closed my eyes. No, that's enough, he paused. You sound shaken. Don't regret this. People deserve to know the truth, I whispered. Truth has a price. Always does, he said. But it's worth paying. He hung up. I stared at the screen until another call came through. Dad. I almost ignored it, but I pressed accept. His voice exploded through the speaker. What did you do? I swallowed. The world knows the truth. That's all. You ruined me, he shouted. Do you understand? Years of work gone in one night. You ruined yourself, I snapped. I just stopped covering for you. You ungrateful, his voice broke. Do you hate me that much? I felt my hands tremble. I don't hate you, Dad. I hate what you became. I hate that you erased Mom. I hate that you erased me. Silence, then heavy breathing. You don't understand what it's like to carry this weight, to hold everything together. I laughed bitterly. You didn't hold anything together. You built lies one on top of another and called it strength. Now it's crashing down, his voice cracked. Daniel, I'll lose everything. You already lost me, I whispered. The line went dead. That evening, I walked downtown. Billboards that once carried Dad's name were being stripped down. At the cafe, whispers filled the air. Did you hear? Sterling's broke. Investors are pulling out. His company's done. I sat quietly listening. The fall was public, unstoppable. Aaron slid into the seat across from me. You look like hell. I rubbed my temples. It's done, he frowned. You leaked it, I nodded. The journalist ran with it. Dad's name is trash now. Aaron leaned forward. So do you feel better? I let out a hollow laugh. That's the problem. I thought I would, but I don't. Then why do it? Because he needed to fall, I muttered. He needed to feel small, powerless. The way he made me feel. Aaron shook his head. And now? I stared at the table. Now I just feel empty, he sighed. I told you. Revenge doesn't heal. It just burns, I clenched my fists. Then why does it feel like it's the only thing keeping me standing? Aaron's voice softened. Because anger's easier than grief. I looked up at him, my throat tight. Then maybe grief is all I have left. Later that night, Dad came home late. His tie was loose, his eyes hollow. I stood in the hallway as he stumbled past. Dad, I said quietly. He stopped, shoulders slumped. What do you want now? To gloat? No, I swallowed hard. I just wanted you to see, to finally understand what it feels like to lose. He turned, his face pale, eyes wet. I understand. More than you think, I froze. I had never seen him cry, but then he shook his head. You wanted me broken? Congratulations. I'm broken. He pushed past me and disappeared into his office, the door slamming shut. I stood alone in the dark hallway, my chest heavy. I should have felt victorious. Instead, the weight of it crushed me. The next morning, Sarah called. I saw the news, she said softly.
Daniel, was it you?
I hesitated. Yes, her sigh carried through the phone. I warned you. I know. Do you feel better? I choked on the words. No, it's like the more he falls, the less I feel anything at all. Because you're not fixing what's broken, she said gently. You're just spreading the cracks. I closed my eyes. Maybe that's all I'm good for now. Don't say that, she whispered. Please. I ended the call before I could answer. That night, I stood at the window watching the city lights flicker. Dad's empire was crumbling, and with it, the man who had once towered over me. I thought I'd feel powerful. I thought revenge would fill the hollow inside me. But all I felt was silence. Silence. And the faint echo of Mom's voice, reminding me that she had loved me for who I was, not for the storms I could create. And I realized the storm had left me empty. I found him in the living room, lights dim, papers scattered across the floor. His shoulders slumped as if the weight of the world pressed down on him. He looked up when I stepped inside. His voice was hoarse. "Daniel!" I stopped a few feet away. "Dad!" Silence stretched between us before he whispered, "Why?" My chest tightened. "Why what?" "Why did you do it?" His eyes glistened. "Why destroy me?" I clenched my fists. "Because you forgot her." My voice cracked louder now. "You forgot Mom, and you forgot me," he flinched. "That's not true." "It is," I shouted. "You buried her memory under lies. You erased her name from this house, and when I begged you to remember, you told me to grow up." His voice shook. "I was trying to survive. I couldn't live in grief forever." "So you replaced her," I snapped. "You replaced me." "You built a new family and pretended we never mattered." He covered his face with his hands. "I thought I was protecting myself." "Protecting you?" "Protecting me?" My throat burned. "You left me alone with the silence. You left me to carry her memory while you pretended she never existed." His hands dropped, his eyes raw. "I failed you." "Yes," I whispered. "You failed her. And you failed me." He stepped closer, voice breaking. "But why tear everything down? Why leak the truth? Why shame me in front of everyone?" My chest heaved. I wanted to say it was for Mom, for justice. But the words caught in my throat. Finally, I admitted, "Because I wanted you to hurt. Not for her." I pressed a hand to my chest, trembling. "For me. I wanted you to feel what I felt. Invisible. Forgotten. Small." His eyes widened, wet with tears. "So it wasn't about her." The truth spilled out, raw and sharp. "It was about me. I thought if you crumbled, I'd finally feel whole again. But I don't. I just feel empty." He staggered back, collapsing into a chair. His hands shook. "God, Daniel, I didn't know." "You never wanted to know," I said. "You never looked at me long enough to see I was breaking." His shoulders shook as he whispered, "I thought I was doing what was best." Moving forward. "Starting over," I laughed bitterly. "Starting over by erasing your first family? By erasing Mom?" He buried his face in his hands again. For the first time, he didn't look powerful. He looked broken. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I can't fix what I've done." The sound of his apology twisted inside me. I had waited years to hear those words, but now they only left me hollow. "I don't want your sorry," I muttered. "It's too late. The damage is done." He looked up, tears streaking his face. "You're all I have left," I shook my head. "No, you lost me the moment you chose to forget." Silence filled the room, heavy and suffocating. His chest heaved with regret. My chest burned with exhaustion. For the first time, I saw him not as the man I hated, not as the father I wanted to punish, but as a man drowning in his own ruin, and I realized my revenge wasn't for Mom at all. It was for me, for the boy who was desperate to be seen, but even after destroying him, I was still unseen. I turned toward the door. His voice broke behind me. "Daniel, please!" I froze, my hand on the handle, but I didn't turn back. "I screamed the truth tonight," I said quietly. "You forgot her. You forgot me, and now you'll never forget what I did." I opened the door, leaving him in the ashes of everything he built, and in the silence that followed, I knew I hadn't won anything at all. The house echoed with emptiness. Rooms once filled with voices now carried only silence. Claire was gone. My stepsister had slammed the door behind her days ago. Dad stayed in his office, curtains drawn, moving like a shadow. I leaned against the wall outside his door, listening. Nothing but shallow breathing and the scratch of paper. Finally, I spoke. "Dad," no answer. I opened the door. He sat slumped at his desk, eyes hollow, tie loose around his neck. The man who once towered over me looked small now, crumbling. "You did this," he muttered without looking up. I stepped closer. "No, you did it to yourself. I just showed the world the truth," he laughed bitterly. truth? You mean revenge? I froze. Maybe both. He raised his eyes, red and wet. Congratulations, Daniel, you won. I lost my wife, my daughter, my company. Everything's gone. Are you happy? The words stabbed. I wanted to say yes, but the sound caught in my throat. Instead, I whispered, no. His brow furrowed. Then what was it all for? I sank into the chair opposite him. For you to feel what I felt. To see what it's like to be forgotten, broken, erased. He shook his head. And does it feel better? I swallowed. No, it feels empty. Silence hung between us, heavy and suffocating. You think revenge heals, he said softly. But it doesn't. It rots everything it touches. I clenched my fists. Don't preach to me. You started this. You erased Mom. You erased me. His voice cracked. And in trying to punish me, you erased yourself too. I stared at him, the words striking deeper than I wanted to admit. I thought breaking you would fix me, I said quietly. But I feel nothing. Just hollow. He leaned forward, trembling. Then stop. Stop before it swallows you whole. I shook my head. It's too late. I've already become something else, he whispered. What have you become? I met his eyes. Not your son anymore. Pain flickered across his face. He looked away. I stood, pacing the room. My voice rose, raw and jagged. I thought I wanted revenge for Mom, but it wasn't for her. It was for me. For the boy you ignored. For the son you told to grow up. And now that I've done it, I hate who I've become. He whispered behind me. Then change. I turned sharply. Change after all this? His voice trembled. Yes, you're still young. Don't live like me, chained to mistakes. I laughed bitterly. You think it's that simple? You think I can just walk away from the fire I started? You can, he said firmly for the first time in weeks. You can choose to be better than me. I stared at him, unsure if I hated him more for sounding sincere or if I wanted to believe him. Finally, I muttered, maybe I can't forgive you. Maybe I never will. But I can't keep drowning in this either. His shoulders sagged. Then at least save yourself. I walked to the door, my chest heavy. I paused, looking back at the man who was once my father. You're right about one thing, I said softly. Revenge doesn't heal. It just burns everything down, including me. He opened his mouth, but no words came. I left the office, closing the door behind me. The silence of the house pressed in again, but this time I felt it differently. Not as a cage, but as a mirror. I had destroyed him, but in doing so, I had destroyed pieces of myself too, and standing in those ruins, I realized my transformation had already begun, not into a son, not into an avenger, but into someone who had to learn how to live again. The cemetery was quiet, the grass damp from morning rain. I stood before her headstone, my hands buried deep in my pockets. Hi, Mom, I whispered. My voice shook. It's Mother's Day again. The silence pressed back, heavy but soft, as if she were listening. I wish I could tell you I made you proud, I said. But I don't know if I did. Wind rustled the trees. I closed my eyes. I thought revenge would heal me, I went on. I thought if I tore Dad's world apart, it would make up for the way he erased you. But it didn't. It just left me hollow. My throat tightened. I screamed at him, Mom. I told him he forgot you, and I wanted to believe I was doing it for you. But it wasn't for you. It was for me. For the boy who wanted to be seen. I crouched down, brushing my fingers across her name carved in stone. I don't forgive him, I admitted. I don't think I ever will. But I can't live in his shadow anymore. I can't keep burning myself down just to make him feel the ashes. A tear slipped down my cheek. I'm sorry. I carried your memory like a weapon, not a gift. I thought revenge honored you, but it only dishonored me. The words echoed in the air, fragile and raw. I whispered, so here's my promise. I'll live. I'll stop drowning in his betrayal. I'll carry you not as a wound, but as a light. For the first time, I'll live for me and for you. The crunch of footsteps startled me. I turned. Aaron stood a few feet away, hands in his jacket pockets. You didn't tell me you were coming here, he said gently. I wiped my eyes. I didn't plan on company. He gave me a faint smile. Thought you might need it. I shook my head. No one can fix this for me. Maybe not, he said. But you don't have to face it alone. I looked back at the grave. She deserved so much better, and I spent years trying to punish him instead of honoring her. Aaron's voice was steady. Then honor her now. Live the way she would have wanted. I exhaled slowly. That's the hardest part, living, he nodded. It's harder than revenge, but it's real. I knelt again, tracing the letters of her name. He may have forgotten you, Mom. He may have erased you. But I won't. Never. The silence around me felt different this time. Not empty, but peaceful. I stood, brushing dirt from my hands. Aaron waited quietly, letting me breathe. Finally, I said, I don't forgive him, but I won't waste my life trying to destroy him anymore. Aaron asked softly, So what will you do? I looked at the grave one last time. I'll live for her. For me. My chest ached, but the weight felt lighter, as if something inside had finally cracked open. I whispered, He may have forgotten her, but I never will. And I will live for both of us.